Good morning. Today I'm going to cover how sad it is that New York has become the city that it has. I want to explain to you what happened to me. Now, I have always lived in small towns, other than a small spirit in the army and being in Marlborough, Massachusetts for a short time. I lived in a town of under 2,000 people. I've lived the rest of my time in a town of less than 8 to 10,000, very small towns. And I was driving Uber. Now, one of the things about driving Uber is that sometimes you get a long distance ride. Here are some pictures that I took as I went into New York City myself. It was a beautiful city. But one of my trips really stood out, and that was I picked up a man in my town, and I took him to Manhattan. Now, this was a day journey, and I arrived there around 11 o'clock in the morning. He said that he had some business he wanted to take care of, but he thought he'd be done within the hour, and he would give me a guaranteed $1,000 if I would just wait for him in New York. Now, I had to go home anyways, and to wait an hour and get an extra $500 was a great deal as far as I was concerned, so I said, sure. But there was a problem, and that you can't just drive around New York waiting for somebody to randomly show up at your place or whatever. So there was a parking garage next door, and he said, here, we'll park the car here. You could push me over with a feather. It was $500 minimum. $500 to park your car. I was thinking to myself, there goes my whole $500 extra that I'm for taking the guy back. But he didn't blink an eye. He was used to it. He paid the $500. He said he would pay it. And I watched as the car was lifted up on like a service lift. It reminded me of if you had your car worked on and they put it up, to look underneath it. And it was stacked somewhat like the rest of them, and which consisted of, I believe, 4 cars on top of each other. And he wished me the best of luck. I wished him the best of luck. He said he'd call me as soon as he needed me. Well, I stepped around the corner, and I was in the middle of Times Square. I had no idea that's where I was. I had never been there, and I was so excited. Well, I'm very nervous now because I obviously look like a tourist, and I look like a poor slob probably. And I'm approaching 70, and I'm a little nervous. My phone rings in at 10, and he goes, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to take you back. This is going to take a couple of days. But he says, since you already get 4 hours, which is the minimum on the parking, he said, why don't you go enjoy yourself? Well, I can't tell you how wonderful the people were in Times Square, how friendly, how safe, how just, I was flabbergasted at how safe I was. And I just want to say, it is a sad, sad day that I no longer could do that because of the irresponsibility of the people and politicians of New York City. Thank you.